Okay, day 17 of the daily revision. If you hear something in the background, apologies, there's some work going on outside. As you can see, there's a picture of some... I haven't actually... Oh, no, I have. Sorry. As you can see, there's some pictures of some sporting heroes. Over there, there's 1966, England winning the World Cup. And there's Usain Bolt. Yes, today is going to be linked to some sporting facts. So every answer is going to be linked to an actual sporting fact. So tell your parents about this, because there's some really cool ideas that they can take for their own Zoom quizzes, because I know they do it. We all do it, don't we? And then, yeah, let's get going. So when you do the questions, try and see if you can figure out what it might be related to. So let's start with year 3. Get used to using this pen again. We've got use the number 1, use the number 6, and use the number 1. So I'm going to write them down. Use the number 1, number 6, and 1 to make the smallest number you can. So if you're making the smallest number you can, you want the largest number to be in the lowest place value. So you've got the lowest place values. You've got 3 digits here. You've got units, tens, and hundreds. We want this 6, because it's the largest number, to be in the lowest place value. Over here. And then we want the 2 ones to be over here to make 116. That's question number 1. Question number 2. We got 113. Oh, I got the wrong pen. We got 149 plus 34. Okay, so there's 2 ways you can do this. You can use number line, or you can use the column method. You could do it in your head, but I think not for year 3. So let's just use the column method. 149 plus 34. Okay, so we're going to add the 9 and the 4 together. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, which is the 4th number. And then we're going to put the 1 over here, because the 10 is going to be in the next place value. We're going to add 4 plus 3, which is 7. Then we're going to add this one over here, which makes 8. And then we've got the 1 over here, which makes 183. So 9 plus 4 is 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then 1. So that makes 183. Okay, and the next question, we've got 345 take away 334. I think this one is, you must be using a number line, the normal method, compact column method, 3, 4, 5. Let's put 3, 4, 5 and not 3, 3. So 3, 4, and 5. 345, 334. 5 minus 4 is 1. 4 minus 1 is 1. And 3 minus 3 equals 0. So the difference between these 2 numbers is 11. 2 times 2, that's nice and simple. Your fingers out. 2, 4. 2 fingers, the answer is 4. Okay. So we've got the first 5 questions done. If you're in year 3 and you're confident, you can continue. This is math for the start of where year 4s can start. Now we're going to make the biggest number from 295. So I said with the year 3 one, that it's all about where your digits are. So we're going to put the digits down, 2, 9, and 5. If we need to make the biggest number, we need to put the largest digit in the largest place values and the smallest digit in the smallest place value. So 2 is the smallest place value, so I'm going to start there. I'm just going to write my hats and caps, yeah? Very important that you do so. And then I'm going to put my second largest number over here and the largest number over here. So I get the largest possible number of 952. Okay, 450 plus 450. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can do it compact method, okay? 450, 450. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 5 is 10. Put the place value into the next placeholder, the next place value. Put the 10 to the next place value. 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. You get 900. There's also another way you can do this. You can split the 3. You've only got 2 place values that have got values. So if you split them up, you've got 400 and you've got 50, right? So if I add 400 and 400, I get 800. This is what I'm thinking in my head. And then we've got 50 and 50, I'm getting 100. You add the 2 together and you get 900. So that's just the way you can do it as well. Okay, 1011 minus 995. Okay, please make sure you are putting the numbers in the right columns. I'm going to put the hats and caps again. I think it's important for us to continue doing that. Okay, so the 1000s in the 1000 column, etc., etc. 1 minus 5. Can I have this 1 cup and can you take 5 cups away from me? No, you can't. That's ridiculous, Mr. Blanc. So you can't do that, can you? So you're going to borrow from the place value, next place value, and that's going to be 0. And it becomes 11 because I'm borrowing 10. So it becomes 10 plus 1. 11 minus 5. 11 minus 5 is 6. And now I've got 0 minus 5. I don't even have 1 minus 5. I've got 0 minus 5. I've got 0 cups. Look, no cups. Give me 5. Can't do it. I can't borrow from this 100 because there is no hundreds. I can't borrow from that. So I have to borrow all the way from this 1,000 over here. So there's going to be no more 1,000s left. Because make 10 hundreds. Now can I borrow from here? Yes. That 10 hundreds becomes 9 hundreds. And that becomes 10. 10 minus 5 equals 5. 9 minus 9 equals 0. And then you've got 0 over here. So 1011 minus 955, you get 56. How would I make sure that I've got this right? What you can do is you can go 955 plus 56. And then you've got 11. And you've got 11. And then you've got 10 there. So you add the two together and you get 1011, which is the exact same as the question. Again, sorry if you're hearing banging in the background. 66 times 56, you got 56 over here. You multiply it by 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Put the 30 on the next place value. 5 times 6 is 30. It becomes 336. I'm going to do a couple of inverses. One again, in the same way, the inverse of multiply is divide. So what you can do is you can say 336 divided by 6, and you should get 56. 6 goes into 3, can't go. 6 goes into 33, goes 5 times, and there's a 3 left over. And 6 goes to 36, 6 times, 56. Boom. So the answer is 336. And then you got 144 divided by 9. Okay, I know you're new to the bus stop method, so I'll go a little bit slow of this one over here. So 144 divided by 9. So we're going to go into each place value, see if they can go in. We always go from the largest place value. We don't go from the smallest place value. That is what's different from the others. I don't know why I wrote that. Equals this time. 9 can't go into 1. Look, 9. No, it's too big. It's too big. Can't go into 1. So 9 needs to go into 14. 9, 18. No, go back. Go back to 9. It goes in once. However, it doesn't go in perfectly. There's still some left over. So if 9 to 14 is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 5 left over. So it becomes 54. 9 goes into 54. How many times? 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. So it goes 6 times. It goes absolutely perfectly in 6 times. How can I make sure that I got this right? Again, using the inverse, 16 times 9. 6 times 9 is 54, as I've said. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 5 is 14, which makes 144, which means that I've checked and I've got it right. I've just lost my entire thing. Oh, there we go. Right, so that is the Year 3 and Year 4 questions. We're now going to move this wonderful picture of South Africa winning the World Cup. I know England rugby fans, I'm really sorry, but I just had to just put this up there just to, just to cover the Year 5 and 6 work, There's no other reason for that. We're going to release all of these questions over here. So, sorry, when they get sent to me. Oh, there's an equals to sign. That's cool. Okay, so slightly different today. We've got a number equals to what plus what plus what. There's a real specific way I really like doing this. Because we're going to add numbers together to make up a certain number, I'll show you how to do this really simply. Oh, I was going to put some highlighters on there. Put your hats and caps up. You'll see why. Put your hats and caps up. There's how many place values in there? Maximum of 4, right? Because it's 4. There's a 4-digit number. And then put the numbers in. 74. Put 900 in. And then put 1,000 in. Look how easy this can be. You just add them together. 4, 7, 9, 1. Perfect. Look at that. 1,974. Isn't that fantastic? That might be a date, 1974. So what happened in 1974? Add 2 decimal numbers together. So we've got 7.2 and we've got 2.38. How many do you reckon didn't place these up in the right order? Because that is where you can get it wrong. Units, comma, tenths, and hundredths. That's where you can go wrong. Is you can put them in the wrong place value. So now that I've got everything in the right place value, my 3/10 and my 2/10 are in the right place. I can now add the 2 together. I've got 8, I've got 5, I've got 9, I need to make sure I put the decimal point in as well. 9.58. I recognize 9.58 somewhere. Well, I did because I set the numbers. But what do you think do you think someone would be maybe running 9.58? Come on, year 5s. I think you should get this. Right, 21.01. Take away 5.89. So we borrow from here because 1 minus 9 can't happen. So we borrow from the unit. That becomes 0. That becomes 10, which has to then become 9 because we're borrowing from here. So 11 minus 9 is 2. Right, 11 minus 9 is 2. 9 minus 8 is 1. And we've got 0 minus 5, which you can't do. So we need to borrow from there. 10 minus 5 equals 5. And then we've got 1. So 15.12 is the answer. How do we check this? We can go 15.12 and we can add that 5.89 again, just to make sure that we've got the right answer. So we add the two together. 5 plus 5 is 10, and then 1 to make 21, sorry. 0.01. My apologies, I went too quickly there with that one. Let's go again, sorry. 1 is 11, 1 plus, which 1 left over, 1 plus 1 plus 8 is 10. Decimal point in, that 10 is the next place value on there, so that becomes 5 plus 5 plus 1, which is 11. And then you've got the leftover amount there, 1 plus 1 equals 2. So 21.01 is the right answer. Okay, brilliant. Let's move on to the next question. We've got 380 times 5. 380 times 5. You do this with the the calculated method. We've got 0 times 5 is 0. 8 times 5 is 40. Okay, so put the 4 over here. The four tens over there. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 4 is 19. So 380 times 5 should be 1,900. 1,900. That should be. That looks like a very early date. I wonder what happens in that date there. Okay, 7864 divided by 4. 7864 divided by 4. 4 goes into 7 once, which is great. But it doesn't go perfectly. There's some left over. 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 3 left over. 4 goes into 38. I know it goes 9 times because it's close to 40, but it's not quite 40. Remember, 4 times 10 is 40, so it'll be 9. 4 times 9 is 36, so there's 2 left over, it becomes 26. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Goes 6 times, 2 left over, and then 4 goes perfectly into 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. 6 times. 1966. I wonder what 1966 is. Might have mentioned that earlier. On to the year 6 questions, but year 5s, please feel free to keep going. I know that you're keen and I know you're interested. I know you can do these. Okay, 1,000 plus 97 plus 900. We've got our place value holders, our hats and caps. Put them in. So easy to do so. Make sure you get 100%. How many place values are there? There's 4. So that's 4. Let's put in 1,000. Let's put it in 97. It doesn't really matter what order you put it in. And then literally add up each column. 7, 9, 9, 1. Boom. Done. 1,568 less than 3,571. Less than. The number is going to be less than 3,571. So let's get 3,571. Let's take away 1,568. 1 minus 8 you can't do, so let's borrow from here. 11 minus 8 is 3. 6 minus 6 is 0. 5 minus 5 is 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. And you get 2003. What do you think happened in 2003? So I remember that day. It was a pretty good day because I'm old. We got 256.40 minus 151.60. Okay, so let's do it. Let's do 256.40. 15, excuse the decimal point. Why did I put that there? 151.60. Okay, 0 minus 0 equals 0. We're going to borrow from over here. Okay, and we're going to go 14 minus 6, because we can't do 4 minus 6. 14 minus 6, which is 8. I'm going to put the decimal point there. 5 minus 1 is 4. 5 minus 5 is 0. And 2 minus 1 is 1. 104.80. So that must be distance. Something's happened. 104.080. Okay, 2 more to go. 19.5 times 2. Okay, we're going to double this number. A couple of ways you can do it. You can separate the place values and do it separately. We'll do that example. Or you can do this in the column method. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, put the decimal point there because there's one decimal point. I usually write 1 dp when you're multiplying using decimal points. I'll always just write that just in case you got it on both. But we don't really have it here, so it doesn't really need it. 2 times 9 is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, 39. Let me just check if I've got it right because I might have made a mistake. I'm going to use the other way. So when you're doubling the same amount. So I'm going to split the place values. You're doubling 0.5, you're doubling 9, and you're doubling 10. So let's double 0.5, that's 1. Let's double 9, that's 18. And let's double 10, which is 20. So you've got 20 plus 30, 20 plus 18, which is 38. And 38 plus 1 is 39. So you got the answer of 39. Okay, 39. Let me just double check that's the right answer. Yeah, I think that's right. And finally, we've got 216 divided by 9. 216 divided by 9. 9 can't go into 2, but it can go to 21. 9, 18 goes in twice. 18, 19, 20, 21. So 18 to 21 is 3. And 9 goes into 3. How many times? 9, 18, 27, 36. So it goes 4 times. So the answer is 24. So what answer do you think will be 24? Okay, so now is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the funnest part. No, I'm joking. You've obviously really enjoyed your maths, but this is a really interesting one. So all those numbers are linked to something specific and interesting with regards to sport. So let's have a look and see what those answers are. Okay, so the answer of 116 is the number of bowling lanes in the largest Tenpin bowling company. Largest Tenpin bowling place ever. 183 is the highest number of games played in table tennis. So two guys played, I think it was a Wimbledon game, 183 games. It's crazy. I think it lasted over 3 days. 11 is the amount of players on a football team. That's a nice and easy one. 4 is the number of trophies West Ham have won in their career, in their lifetime. 6 is the number of games you play in a tennis set. So the scoring in tennis is very, very interesting. When you play one game against each other, it goes 15, 30, 45, and then the game's over. So you could win 4 points and then win. So let's say I win a point, I get 15. I win another point, I get 30. And then my opposition wins a point, it becomes 30, 15, and we go until the end, until after 45. I'm not going to explain deuce and stuff, but if you win 6 games before the opponent, it's called a set. 952 is the highest score ever scored in cricket. I believe it was by a Sri Lankan team scoring 952. I've been on a cricket pitch where another team has scored 300, and it was very difficult to get through. Got very, very tired and grumpy after that. So 900 is a large score. 900 is the answer for 900 degrees. Tony Hawks did a turn where he turned around 360 degrees. How many times? I'm not actually quite sure, but he did a 900 degree turn. I don't know, let's just work that out quickly because I can't really think of it. So he did one 360, then he did another 360. So he turned 360 degrees twice, which makes, what does that make? Why can't I do this in my head? I've obviously lost it. So 720, of course. And then he did another half turn to make 900. So he did 2 full turns, and then he did another half turn while he was in the air. It's the most anyone's ever done. The next one's a funny one. 16 shots is the most shots ever on a par 4 by a professional. There was a professional golfer who hit the ball 16 times before he can get it into the hole on a par 4. A par 4 means like par average. You should be getting it in 4 shots if you're a professional. 336, keeping with the golf theme, is the average number of dimples on a golf ball, 336. 16 is the number of titles Roger Federer won. 1974 was the famous Rumble in the Jungle when Muhammad Ali fought. 9.58. That was the one I was talking about earlier. Was Usain Bolt's 900-meter record. 15.12 was not South Africa's victory in the World Cup this year. Was when they won the World Cup in 1995. It was just after apartheid, when there wasn't very good equality before then, and Nelson Mandela became the president, and there was a big push for the South African rugby team to do really well in the World Cup, to create equality and to bring the country together. And amazingly, South Africa won the World Cup that year in 1995, and the score was 15-12. It was a very close game. Here's a funny one. This one's for the quiz. This is one for your quiz for your parents. In 1900, in the Olympics, one of the events was live pigeon shooting. They'd shoot live pigeons, which is pretty funny. 1966 was when England won the Football World Cup. 1997, I believe that's when Tiger Woods won the Masters for the first time, and he was the youngest winner. 2003, England won the Rugby World Cup, which was, excellent win. Martin Johnson was the captain. It was a fantastic time. 104.8, I told you it was distance, was a javelin record. It's the world record for javelin. Throwing at 100 meters is pretty insane. Or 100 yards, I'm not 100% sure. 39 is Kelly Slater winning a surfing competition at 39. He was the oldest to win that competition. I can't remember what the competition was called. Mr. Sewell's added long ago, Spurs one. He added the long ago without me knowing. But 24 is the number of times. I just wanted to give these two facts just to remind Mr. Sewell when he gives me how much have you won banter, that Spurs have won actually 24 trophies in their lifetime as opposed to the 4 trophies. So we've won 20. Spurs have won 20 more times than West Ham have. Just a little reminder. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I look forward to the next one. Enjoy.